welcome to our next series of chats with our local Anglian businesses. Today I'm talking to Neil Dunlop from Audeo Finance. Good afternoon, Neil. How are you today?
Hi, Martin. Very well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastically well, thank you very much. The weather's become a bit milder, so my daily jogs are far more comfortable. What about yourself?
Good. Well, I'm a cyclist, unfortunately, so this time of year is a bit difficult for me. But give it till March, April time, and I can actually go out and enjoy it.
Yeah, you've got to watch out for these motorists and those dark nights, I'm sure.
They're crazy, yeah. They are crazy.
They are indeed. Well, look, thanks for taking the time to chat to us today. It's been brilliant that you've given up some time. So, look, without further ado, let's get started. So, look, tell us a bit about your business.
Yeah, so we, Audoe, are an asset finance broker, specialising in essentially if it's wheeled, if it's tracked, if you can stick a key in it and drive away, chances are we can fund it. 80-90% of our business is run by hard asset funding. Right. So your trucks, trailers, construction equipment, generally cars, vans, etc. The list goes on. And 90% of the time we'll beat the dealer's finance quite considerably, meaning the customer comes with us. And that tends to start how we build a relationship with the client is beating someone else. After that, it just snowballs. Customer loves our service, loves our turnaround times, and we just find the relationship builds and builds from there. Then, thus, if a customer example funds a trailer, chances are they need a tractor unit to pull the trailer. If they need someone to pull the trailer, they need a forklift or some form of telehandler to put stuff in the trailer. And the list goes on. It's a good avenue to explore. Ideally, we always go for businesses. We can do commercial funding as well, such as loans and mortgages as such, but 90% of our business is via asset finance. Yeah, it's very straightforward. If a customer's buying something, just give us a call and we can see if we can help. We're quite a transparent business. If we can help, we'll say there and then. If not, we'll be honest with you. We don't want to. Time is, especially business owners, time is more so than ever, is key to everyone. Yeah, and we don't like wasting our own time, let alone wasting anyone else's time.
Okay, so is it all commercial, vehicles, or could it be fleet cars or fleet vans?
Fleet cars, fleet vans. We have a number of van hire firms, van rental firms. Again, they'll purchase it for X amount, pay Z amount on finance per month, and hire it out for, obviously, of course, more than what they're paying on finance naturally to make some income. Exactly the same as construction firms. They'll have a fleet of 200 rental piece of equipment on finance, for example. Again, rent them out for more than covering their costs. So yeah, it can be absolutely anything. We can do what we classify as soft assets. So your IT equipment, what we're speaking on now, kitchen equipment, for example, software, even now, it's not physical. You can't particularly go out and return it if things go wrong, but that can be funded. Now, or in the last 12 months, again, more so than ever, we find renewable energies is on the rise, naturally, as the environment is becoming more and more at the front of people's minds and how to look after it. Yeah, that's finding ourselves funding quite a lot of solar panels, ground source heat pumps, electric vehicles, purely the fact this, especially solar panels, they'll cover their costs over 5 years on the savings from the electricity.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, that's interesting. Yeah. So it's quite a broad church. It's quite a broad net of things that you something to find.
Yeah, we're very much more than, we like to think of ourselves as more than just, oh, you're financing that trailer. Yeah, no worries, see you next time. We actually like to go into a business, have a conversation with them, understand the business and get to know the business that we're dealing with.
Okay, yeah, great.
Yeah, if they've got, say, hold on a minute, why are you funding it over 5 years? You could do it over 3 with a balloon, for example, pay less interest, shorter term. Or you've got 3 acres of land there next to your yard. You would have thought about solar panels.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing that? How long have you been in business?
Audoe have been in business for 3 years. 3 years this month, actually. Yep. So yeah, we've started off exactly the same, asset finance brokerage, existing base of customers, building that month in, month out. And at the moment, on and off, we're lending about 3 to 4 million per month, which is quite good in this current climate. There's 5 members of staff currently. So I've got myself, business development manager. We've got Ian Reid, who's another business development manager. A lad called Jordan, internally, who's sales support. Ash, internally, who's admin for us boys. And our 2 directors, Connor Harris and Richard Brown. So we're all very close-knit. I've known all these lads for 10 or so years. I'm very young, so it doesn't seem a long time, but half my lifetime, I say. So that sounds a bit better. So the cohesion between us and the communication is great. We'll all muck in and help each other out where possible and For example, Ian Reed's spent all his life in truck sales, dealing with Volvo trucks.
Yeah.
Something I'm not too familiar with on the HGV side, on the specs and the engine and the miles per gallon, whereas he's like the Bible for him. So he knows absolutely anything inside and out, knows how to benefit for a certain business, especially with all the emissions charges going into London. He'll be up to date with that every month, gets all the regular news and keeps people updated.
So he is a Bible of everything truck.
He is the Bible, the encyclopedia, we like to call him.
Fantastic. So wow, so you're lending roughly about 3 to 4 million a month?
Per month, broke it out, yeah. So we'll have a lender panel of about 20, 25 lenders, ranging from the most common, obviously, Lloyds, to Hitachi, Hitachi Capital, Investec. So we have what we like to call prime lenders, Lloyds, and working your way down from there, essentially. We'll broker the business out, being the middleman. When a deal come in, we'll essentially pigeonhole it and say, all right, that business is prime for A1 credit, Lloyds deal all day long. We'll propose it there. So we kind of source the customer the best deal possible on the market.
So who's your ideal client then? What's your target market? Who's your ideal? You'll map out for me your ideal client.
An ideal client, it's tricky really. We love everything, but the ideal one I have to say would be potentially construction or the transport, whether that's vans or heavy haulage. Ideal, been trading more than 3-4 years, good trading history, good last couple of years of accounts, and know exactly what their aim is for the future. Have a clear forecast for the next 12 months. Reasoning behind a purchase, not just because they want it, because hold on, my old tractor's actually costing me £1,000 a month to fix. Yeah. The fuel cost is 50 quid extra than what it should be. Then over times over 12 months and all the trips these HGVs are making, it's quite considerable. Our ideal, we'll go ahead, sorry.
Carry on, Neil.
Our ideal customer would be in the construction or transport firm. Again, we'll deal with absolutely anyone. But that is our ideal market and where we thrive in at the moment, I'd like to say.
So it's essentially when that asset has been depreciated over, completely depreciated within the business, and it essentially gets to a point where it starts to cost the business money. Yeah. That's when the ideal time to come to you is. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, especially if customers looking to replenish their fleet, update there, especially these couriers who'll be doing hundreds and hundreds of thousand miles a year. Yeah. Realise warranties only last for so long, whether it's 100,000 mile warranty or a 3-year warranty. They'll then update it every 2-3 years, get a new one in, similar to lorries and the hire firms and construction people, they might keep stuff in their rental fleet for 3 years, sell it and upgrade again. Right, okay. That's where we come in. Okay, so how, obviously we're going through some strange and stormy times over the last year, and then obviously now back into another lockdown. Yeah. How have you seen the business affected through COVID-19 and the roller coaster of the year that we've had to contend with? Yeah. So back in April, March, I think 80-90% of our days was just forbearance calls. Businesses coming in, calling, saying, "Look, I need payment holidays 3 months." Naturally, as everyone was doing. Again, we'd be the middleman. Prioritize that over everything else. Speak to the lenders, say, look, ABCD Limited, for example, needs 3 months payment holidays and all their construction kit. Lenders are very cooperative, signed off on it straight away. 90% of our time, again, at the start of the COVID outbreak was based on forbearance. We obviously had the increase in business when things eased off again. As you said, a roller coaster has been up and down, but businesses have struggled. It's not nice to see them struggle, but we like to think we've helped them out throughout that. We had access to the CBILS loans, which is the Coronavirus Business Interruption Loan Scheme. It's a mouthful. So we are essentially speaking to all our clients, so look, this is available up to 250 grand, cash in your account by next week or whatever, if you need it. And that seemed to have a massive hit to our customers. Some people didn't take it up, but they appreciate the fact that we called them and we're updating them every week, what the market's like, what the lenders are doing, whether they're offering an extended payment holiday on top of the payment holiday. Again, going back to CBILS, they had a CBILS loans we were offering, but we also had a CBILS hire purchase deal, as well as CBILS lease. Yeah. So essentially, if you, Martin, for example, you had a haulage business, you're buying a tractor, we'd normally stick you on a hire purchase deal, same payment for 3, 4, 5 years, or whatever, own at the end. Whereas government now essentially puts CBILS in front of that. So look, you can have the same deal, but you haven't got to pay interest for 12 months. Pay capital loan for 12 months. If you want to settle it 50% away for your agreement, no penalty, and we're not going to ask for any guarantee. So all the lenders, most of the lenders, I should say,
were offering Sybil's products. Purely the fact it was better for them because they're getting money from the government and it was backed by the government.
Right.
I think it was about 80% backed by government. So again, you have a 50 grand truck, for example. If it goes wrong day two, the government liable for 80%, lenders liable for 20. So I think I'd rather write that business on a Sybil's HP than on a normal HP. So naturally, most of our business we're writing at the moment is through that because it works out cheaper because they're not paying interest for 12 months, no guarantees and no early resettlement penalty. So it's better off for the customer to go down that route.
Yeah.
A little bit more, a lot of more legwork, shall I say, our end, but it's more beneficial for the customer. So we're essentially accommodating them and doing what's best for their business and hoping that will build the relationship and the trust going forwards.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So you know, when the situation happened, you know, this lockdown, last lockdown, what sort of things have you done to pivot, or what changes you brought into the business to?
Yeah, so immediately close the office, lock the office, put the keys in the car until next whenever it may be, 2022 potentially. But immediately we all work from home, all given laptops, relevant phones, made sure our Wi-Fi was top notch. I'm saying that now, so hopefully it doesn't go down halfway through the interview. All working from home. We're all on a WhatsApp groups, have team meetings every other day to update people. But as soon as that, we had to adapt and overcome, as everyone did, obviously. It's not as normal for me, for example, normally out on the road 2-3 days a week, seeing people and being face to face, having a coffee, having a bacon roll or whatever, and building a relationship. Whereas it's very hard to do that over a phone call or a Zoom call for 5 minutes. So is adapting it and seeing what we can do and just regularly calling people week in, week out. Are you okay? Yeah, not bad. You have a good week. You know, sometimes just a general chit chat, just asking how they are, and they're appreciating it.
So you did a lot more stuff that was more sort of empathetic, supporting.
Yeah, not necessarily
approach.
Yeah, we try not to go for the salesy approach. Is if someone's just furloughed half their staff and are worried about the cash for the coming month, they're not going to say, "Oh, you're buying a new trailer." You know, that's not how we work. We're very empathetic. We want to deal with people who understand that, you know, not many people will be buying at the moment naturally. They want to see what the next few months bring, and again last year what they wanted to see what the next 2 quarters run. So we're very understanding of that. But when things did ease off, we found immediately they came back, said, "Appreciate your time. You looked after us. Okay, you didn't do anything, but you called in, double check we're okay, offered us these products if we needed them."
Yeah,
appreciated that. And for the last 6 months last year, we were just non-stop, flat out, right up until Christmas Eve, working through Christmas Eve again, between Christmas Day and New Year's Eve, flat out still.
So I mean, so if there's learning for any other business owners out there, you're, if I'm hearing you right, you're saying, look, your whole approach, your sales, your marketing approach should be a lot more empathetic, a lot more understanding and supportive than necessarily a hard sale type.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. We try not to go down the hard sale route. Julie, that's not, you know, we're not those sorts of people. We like to speak to someone and get to know their business. You know, if they're buying, brilliant, but I'd like to know more about the business, how it started, where it's going.
Yeah.
You're funding a trailer next month, brilliant, I'll do that, but tell me more about what you do and how we can help.
And you're successful.
That's successful. That's the best way we've worked it out, because they'll then refer us on to their mate Baillie, or their mate Joe, you know, who's also runs a construction firm or a hire firm, who's actually, you know, they'll be down the pub on a Friday night discussing their week and say, well, actually, these boys at Audoe looked after us very well, and, you know, I recommend them. And word of mouth for us is brilliant. You can't get any better than a referral from a friend.
Yeah, no, that's great advice to give out to other business owners in terms of, like, you know, you kind of got to change what you're doing. You kind of change your tone, your approach to the environment, to what, you know, to what people are currently facing on a day-to-day basis. So a good share there. Thank you for that. So what's the one thing that you are missing the most during this lockdown?
Work related or non-work related?
We'll do both then. Let's do a non-work related and a work related.
Well, it had to be golf.
All right, okay. Yeah,
really struggling. We had a little lull between Christmas. I was awful again, so I'm not looking forward to when the season's off. I need to buy 100, 200 balls, I reckon. But that'd be the thing I'd miss the most outside of work.
They do say it's a great walk spoiled.
It is, yeah, definitely. But that'd be what I'd miss the most outside of work. Internally, I'd have to say just going out and seeing people, really. Seeing the colleagues every other day, 2-3 days a week is great. The camaraderie between us all, it is good because we've known each other for so many years. But just going out and seeing businesses 2-3 days a week, you know, pop the face in, you'll have a coffee, whatnot, have a chat for 30-40 minutes, and be on your way to your next appointment. And it's nice going out seeing people, and you're always in front of them, and they trust you. The more you see someone, the more you spend time with them, naturally they're going to trust you. You'd like to think anyway. So that's what I'd say I'd be missing the most, and it is difficult. It's been a difficult last 12 months, not being able to do that constantly.
That human contact, that human face-to-face.
Yeah.
And I think that affects a lot of people, to be honest. I mean, you know, we know being stuck indoors and, you know, only seeing our bubble as such. Challenging enough. So I think a lot of people will relate to that. Absolutely. So in the last 4 months, what have you learned about yourself, Neil?
I'm very self-driven. You know, waking up in your office effectively and going to work next door, in the room next door, in your spare bedroom or whatever, in your conservatory and your lounge. You know, you need to be self-motivated. The days, as we all remember, from March to July even just flew by. It's very easy to wake up and get lost in the week. You know, you need to wake up and motivate yourself to set out a list, set a to-do list in the morning, which you normally do, have a coffee, and you work through that throughout the day, and anything comes in, add it to the list. So you constantly have a workflow of stuff to do. Make sure you take your 30-minute break, wherever it may be, halfway through the day, and your 11Zs at early morning. So it's just trying to get into some form of routine, which many will struggle working from home. But doing that is helping massively, and, you know, trying to find the self-motivation to do that is great. That's found myself working much more efficiently the last 6 months than I had potentially have done if I went into the office. You know, you'd go into the office and speak about the football scores or what have you, and what you're doing at the weekend, and then you'd start work. Whereas now it's thinking, oh, no one's around, so talk to yourself and get through it.
You do realise lots of people are going to see this interview, don't you? So they
I've cut that one out, I think.
So look, I think you're right. I think a lot of discipline and a lot of routine is absolutely essential right now. If you remain effective while working during, you know, through lockdown, those two things are absolutely essential. I think you're absolutely right. So look, is there something you'd like to say to or share with your customers or prospective customers?
For existing customers, just say thank you essentially for the business you've trusted us with, because it is trusting us with you know, whether it's a 20 grand purchase or a 200 grand purchase, you're trusting us to deal with it, and we've dealt with it accordingly. So thank you for those customers for bearing with us as well. In, you know, 18 months ago, turnaround times were second to none. You'd have a deal sorted in a day, whereas now the lenders are obviously all working from home as well. They're slower, their bosses are slower, so everything takes a little more time. So thank you to the existing customers for bearing with us and being understanding that things take a bit more time. And to our prospective customers, you know, give us a call. You've watched this interview, I'd like to think anyway, and seen what we're like. We're much more than just an asset finance firm. As I said, we're now offering mortgages, commercial loans, looking after your whole business essentially, and your home life. Car finance for your personal, for your missus potentially, or your husband, looking after your personal mortgage as well. And so we're much more than an asset finance firm. We like to dive into the business and see what's going on, and see your thoughts, and just understand it really before buying anything.
Fantastic. Well, last question for me today for you is, what or who has inspired you the most in your life?
Sorry, you broke up then.
What or who has inspired you the most in your life?
Oh, that's a tricky one, that is.
Big question to finish on.
That is, oh God. Who has inspired me? I'm not sure. I'd like to say, going back to golf, I'd like to say Tiger Woods. Mm-hmm. He is an inspiration, you know, going through his troubles, as many people do, then having a great comeback and winning the Masters, whenever it was, 2019, 2020. It was great to watch, seeing, you know, after the years of him struggling with back pain and many other ailments. It was great to watch, and, you know, it goes to show that anyone can bounce back if they have the right mindset.
Yeah,
no doubt he had the right help behind him as well, which is always beneficial. But, you know, he is definitely an inspiration to many, I'd like to think.
I can see why you would pick him, because you have talked about mindset, discipline, and routine.
Yeah,
it's exactly what a humongous star, golfing star like Tiger Woods would need to achieve what he achieved. So I can see why you chose that. So look, Neil, thank you for your time today. It's been absolutely fantastic, and thanks for your candid honesty and sharing as much as you've shared. And you know, I look forward to speaking to you again in the near future. So thank you very much for today.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me. It's been a blast.